Hey everyone, welcome back to Lady Out Loud podcast, where we sit down with real women and share real stories. Today, I had the opportunity to chat with Alexis Shattuck. She is a nurse and outdoorswoman, and she just published her book, 30 Proof, on her 30th birthday. Alexis lives a very busy life, and today we talked about confidence, burnout, and just doing the hard things in life. Sit down, get comfortable, and let's dive into another episode of Lady Out Loud. Alexis, it is so great to have you on the podcast today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Just wonders. All right. So you are a nurse, an avid outdoors woman, and you just published your book. So kind of tell me about that. Tell me about who you are when you take away all those different layers.
Gosh, yeah, there's a lot of titles that go with me, a lot of hats that I tend to wear.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would just say, taking all of that away, I'm just someone that's curious about life. There's so much out there to see and not enough time to see it. So I'm just constantly exploring, trying new things. Sometimes that's, completely uprooting my life and moving across the country, or sometimes it's just a new hobby, new career. You
Yes.
never know.
You never know. You never know. And you just got back from Spain. How
I
was
did.
that?
Was good. Yeah, I went to Mexico for about a week and then came home, worked for 3 days, and then went to Barcelona to visit a friend, and it was good. The Barcelona trip was very relaxing, just a lot of coffee shops and getting some work done. Nothing crazy.
Very refreshing, kinda time to
Yes. It was
relax,
much needed.
reset. Yeah, we all
Yes.
need that. We all need a good
Yes.
vacation. I
I
love it, I
definitely
love it.
do.
So, you just published your book, and it is now a bestseller, like I said. Great, great book. I have read it up and down. I actually wanna start reading it again. I passed it along with my mom, actually. She's reading it now.
I appreciate that.
Yes, yes, it is. Oh my gosh, it is. It's fantastic. So, kinda tell me, let's kinda get into the nitty-gritty of the book.
Okay.
So, why did you wanna publish a book?
I've always wanted to, honestly. I was at my dad's last night and he pulled out a tote of things that I have created since I was in like elementary school. Like little hardcover books that I would write. He was making me read them last night. But yeah, so I've always enjoyed writing and here we are. We finally did it. Found some time to do it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. So, that's funny. You've been writing since you were little, and now you've published a book that's a bestseller. That's great. I love it. So, why the name 30 Proof?
So 30 proof, it's 30 proof, 30 years, 30 lessons, no chaser. So with that, I would say it's 30 lessons that are just proof that I survived all the things that life has thrown at me so far. But then also a little play on words, because there's a lot of lessons in there about sobriety. So the proof is also kind of a touch on the alcohol aspect. And then no chaser because I didn't water anything down in that book. Some of it's a little hard to swallow, but yeah.
It's very blunt, though. I mean, I love the bluntness of it. I love how real that you are. You're so real, you're so relatable. I know that so many women, and not even just women, but men even, can relate to it. I feel like everybody can relate to that book
Yeah.
just because it is so real and it's so raw.
Yeah, I originally wrote it for women, in their 30s or coming out of their 20s. My editor originally was like, "No, this is gonna be for a much larger audience." I'm
Why?
like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then sure enough, though, I've had men of all ages reach out and they're like, "Wow, just want you to know that I really resonated with that." And yeah, just a lot of people that I wasn't expecting. A lot of women that are well past their 30s. So yeah, it's good to know that people enjoy reading it. I haven't read it since I put it all together. I have
You
not.
haven't read it.
No,
What?
I no. So I wrote each individual chapter,
Uh-huh.
just scattered all out, and then basically put it all together in themes as parts in the book, and then once it's been edited, I haven't read it. So,
Wow. That
yes,
is so
I need
interesting. That's
to.
a fun fact about you. You haven't read your own book. I love that, though. Well,
Yeah,
maybe you'll have to take some time and sit down and just kinda read it and
yeah, I always
take
say
it
I'm
all
going
in.
to. Yeah, I don't know, cringy to read your own work. I don't know. I'm like,
Think so? I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like, I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
I'm like, if you ever hear, like, a lot of actors don't ever watch the movies that they've been in.
I know.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can do it. I try and I'm
Okay.
like, ugh. I'm like, other people have
Me sometimes with stuff, especially with these podcasts, is like when I go back and I have to listen to my voice and
Mhm.
like how I talk, and sometimes I'm like, "Ugh." I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of cringy. I don't.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want people
I
to
think,
see this.
yeah, yeah, no, okay, that's relatable. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So you released this book and published it on your 30th birthday. That's so exciting. So what was turning 30 like for you? I mean, was it like exciting, scared? I mean, cuz I'm 27. I'll be 28 in April this year. So I mean, I'm getting closer to 30 and it's just like
Well, let me
yeah.
ask, how do you feel with 30 coming up, getting a little closer?
Good. I feel good about it. At the same time, I think sometimes we're our own worst critic. We are we're kind of geared to compare sometimes,
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm really bad about comparing myself to others, and I look at other people thinking, "Oh my gosh, like, they're 30 years old and they've got their whole life together," and I'm like, "I'm not even halfway there yet." So it's kind of I take it in strides of, I'm able to go and do things that I see most people aren't able to, and it's such a blessing to be able to live the life that I live, and, I don't have any kids.
Mhm.
I'm not married yet, I just got engaged, so I'll be married next
Congrats.
year. Thank you. Yes, it's so exciting. So it's just kind of those things, that we compare sometimes because it's like, well, we're not married. We don't have kids. We don't,
Yeah.
it's just this persona, I guess, of
Yeah.
what you're thinking, 30 should
The
be. But I,
stereotype. Yeah.
yeah, very stereotypical. Yeah. But no, I mean, I feel good about it. Like I said, I do compare sometimes, but shame on me. I shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, it's normal. We all do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, you've read the book. So, I hinted in the book a little bit about how much of a wild life I lived in my teenage
Mhm.
years. I
Yeah.
don't go into all the details, but so honestly, I didn't expect to make it to 30. I'm not gonna lie. I was living pretty crazy. And then so once I hit like mid 20s, I was like, oh shoot, I better come up with a game plan. Like, what are we doing for the rest of our life now?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still trucking along here. Um, I don't know. So once like mid 20s, I started to come up with a game plan and like map it all out and then setting the timeline, just like the stereotype that we see and starting to compare. So I expected my life to be much more settled down by now, I think, and it's just not that way. And I'm glad it's not.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
totally okay.
I'm like the cookie cutter life, not for me.
No,
I'm okay. Yeah.
no. That's how I feel. You know, kinda like it's sometimes I feel like I want that cookie cutter, and then
Mhm.
I look at it and I go, "That's boring.
Yeah.
Who wants to
I've
live like
tried.
that?"
I have tried. I mean, I've settled down. I've bought the house with a man before, all the things,
Yeah,
tried to settle down, and I'm like,
yeah,
"What am I doing? Get
yeah.
out of here."
Ew.
No,
Ew.
gross.
What are we doing? Yeah, no, I totally get that. I can definitely resonate with that. So, you live life in the fast lane,
Mhm.
like you said. So, or even, multiple lanes. So kind of do you feel like you have always been confident to pursue those goals and dreams and just living the life, no cares in the world? Or have you struggled with that in the
Yeah,
past?
definitely not. Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, the confidence has only come in the last few years, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I've always had enough confidence to kinda, like, try things out a little bit, like, surface level. So, I would say like 20 I think it's 2018. I packed up my car, moved to Colorado all by myself, and so everybody's like, "Wow, you have so much confidence, I could never do it." Okay, well, while I was there, I didn't try anything. Like, I was too scared to go do anything, didn't
Really?
go Yes, I wouldn't go hiking by myself, I wouldn't, like, try out any restaurants unless I had people like, any friends to go with me.
Mhm.
So then, it's just slowly developed over time, and now I'm like, "Life's not that scary. You can do whatever
No,
you wanna do."
you
Yeah.
can.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy though. You just packed up and moved to Colorado and said, "I'm
Mhm.
just getting out of town."
Yep. But then that's as far as I could go.
Yeah, when you got there, you said, "Okay, I'm pumping the brakes. I'm
Yeah.
not trying anything new. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
experience anything
Yeah.
outside of what I know."
I'm like,
Okay.
"Lunch by myself? Absolutely not. You can't do that."
No. No, that is so funny. No, I feel the same way though about stuff, so I can relate. It's hard sometimes to try new things and
Mhm.
kind of break out of that bubble and say, okay, well today I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. And I
Yeah.
know that you went on an iguana and python hunt. Was it last summer?
Yes, and then going again in May? I think in May.
Fun. That's so fun. Yeah, that's a big step out of, okay, I've got to get my confidence up here and where I mean, cuz you had never done that before, right? That was
No.
all a
Yeah,
brand
that
new
was the first.
experience.
Yeah, I'm honestly like getting back into the outdoors is almost kind of all new to me. Like I grew up hunting and in the outdoors with my dad. And then honestly, when I moved to Colorado, that's when I realized like, shoot, he never taught me how to do this by myself. Like he was always there holding my hand, doing all the hard stuff. And so then I kind of like fell away from the outdoors. And then now I'm just kind of falling back into it. And yeah, started out with the python.
Love it though. That's a great way to kick things off. Yeah, that's so your dad kind of taught you the whole
Yes.
outdoor life. That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, he definitely raised me to be the son he never had, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
That's awesome though. That's kind of like my dad. Like he, kind of taught me to step out of my comfort zone and do things all outdoors. But yeah, we love
Yeah,
those dads. We love
yeah,
the dads that
definitely
support
yeah,
their daughters and the outdoor dreams and goals of life. Yeah.
definitely grateful for it, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is so fun though. Well, I hope you guys have a good time down in
yeah,
South Florida again. And so you're doing both python and iguana.
yeah, so python, iguana, and I think bow fishing. I think we were considering hog hunting, but I think we're going with bow fishing.
Okay. That's so fun. Are you going with Ashley again?
Yeah, there's a whole group of us. Gosh, I couldn't even tell you who's all going. Brandy, Ashley, sorry, my dog is pawing at me. He wants to be featured here.
We love fur babies.
But yeah, Brandy, Ashley, Lauren Sander, not sure if you know her.
I do not.
Sharon, gosh, I don't know. There's a whole group of us. I couldn't even tell you.
That'll be fun though. That's always a good time.
Hmm.
Always a great time.
Trying to convince the girls to go python hunting, but a lot of them aren't down for it.
It's okay though. I mean, but some maybe you can convince them, kind of break the ice and
Yeah.
get their confidence boosted and
It's
say, "Hey,
pulling
we're
them.
going to we're going to do hard things today and we're going to go tangle with a python." Oh my goodness.
Do you want to see what's going on? She's gonna make a feature.
What's she doing?
She just wants attention. Come in, come here. She'll make a feature here real quick.
Oh, I love that. What is her name?
This is Oakley.
Oh,
Oakley
hi
Joe.
Oakley. Oh,
This is
you
all
are
she
a
wanted.
sweetie. Just attention.
Okay.
She's like,
That's
"I'm
enough.
gonna lick your headphones."
Okay.
Oh my
You had your
goodness.
minute of fame. Get out of here.
Bless her. Bless her. She is so sweet.
I don't know, sweet is what I would say,
Uh,
but
well, yeah,
she's a handful.
I know I've got several that are handfuls and I have a lot of pointers. We have 2 pointers and they are,
Okay.
ooh, Lord, they're
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah, she is exhausting. Lauren, that'll be going on our hunt, she is a dog trainer, and I told her today, I was like, "If you wanna just start charging me for how much I blow up your phone with questions," I'm like, "Go right ahead because this girl is wearing me out, I tell ya." Yeah.
Goodness. Bless. Bless. When the first time that you did that python and iguana hunt, were you scared to try it? Or was it just, okay, let's just dive in and go all in for it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely an adrenaline junkie, so I wouldn't say scared, uncomfortable maybe. Like, I don't think people would know it unless I told them, but I did not like snakes before that. Like, if there was a garden,
Really?
yes, like a garden snake in my yard, absolutely not. I want no part of it. I'm
Okay.
not touching it. And then, you just have to face your fears, I guess. Not
You
necessarily a fear,
do?
but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the more you do uncomfortable things, the easier they get. So I just kinda forced myself into it, and then I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't too bad."
Because I know, like, looking I remember when those photos were posted, of that hunt, and I'm thinking, "Nobody looks scared. Everybody looks like they're having a grand old time."
Yeah, no, we had one girl on the hunt that was, like, a phobia of snakes, and, like, so
Mm.
she went to get over it and, like, to get over that fear.
Good for
So,
her.
yeah. So, that's
That's
why I'm
awesome.
always trying to convince people. I'm like, "Come on, if you
Yes.
don't like snakes, that means you have to do it."
You have to.
Yeah,
Yes, get out of your comfort zone, try new things, do the scary things.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, with that, with the hard things, do you think it builds resilience the more that you
Absolutely.
keep. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that and the confidence. I mean, like I said, the more you do uncomfortable things, each time it just gets easier and easier, no matter what it is. And with that, I think is where that confidence comes from. Like that I said, that slowly developed over time because you almost like build evidence for yourself that, like, hey, I can do this. I am capable of it. So, yeah, it definitely builds resilient confidence, all the things.
That's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's so important too. I think
Hmm.
that's like a great reminder. I'm gonna put that on my fridge. Put a note on my fridge.
A little magnet. I'll just make
Yeah, little yes, you should do that. You should make little magnets now to sell along with your book of little
There we go.
quotes. Yeah,
Perfect.
love it. Great idea. Great idea. So you're a nurse.
Yes.
How long have you been a nurse?
Only a little over a year.
Okay.
Yes, I've been in healthcare on and off for a decade. But, healthcare is a lot. So I stepped
Yes.
away from it for a while. I was like, oh, maybe this isn't what I want. And then, a couple years away from it, I was like, no, I didn't realize how many avenues you can go in healthcare. And I'm like, okay,
There's so many.
yeah, I was in long-term care before and worked on like a vet unit and I was like, that's what I don't like. We know we don't like that. Let's try something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It can be tough.
absolutely.
Healthcare, it has its ups and downs, but I mean, it's so awesome what you do and helping others, and I love that. That's great. So, nursing, it's emotionally demanding, it's physically demanding, it's mentally demanding. Um, has there ever been a moment in your career where you have felt burnout? Because burnout is a huge thing in today's world, whether it's healthcare or, you have an office job or you work in retail. I mean, burnout's real. It's there.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, single moms, everything,
Mhm.
any title comes with burnout.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely, I would say I was burnt out when I stepped away from healthcare for a while. And then that's when I just had to discover what kind of fills my cup instead of, nursing is filling everybody else's cup and taking care of everybody except yourself. And
Yes.
so you're just going to have to learn how to fill your own cup, what sparks joy in your life, and make sure you prioritize that. Just kind of learn some boundaries. And you are a nurse too, right?
Yes, I was. I
Yes.
was. So I actually, and don't get me wrong, I loved being in healthcare. It was great. It was a joy. I loved helping others. I still do love helping others. But my passion is more the outdoor industry side of things.
Absolutely.
So I'm still able to, with the career that I have now, I'm still kind of able to help people just in a
Hmm.
different way.
Yeah,
And
of
I get
course.
to enjoy things that I love to do. And it's definitely been a blessing to kind of find my own avenue. Um, and kinda take that break from healthcare and kinda step away from it, but it's
Yeah.
still an awesome experience that I won't forget, and, healthcare being in healthcare definitely shaped me, into the
Mhm.
person that I am
Yeah.
today, so
How long how long were you a nurse, and how long have you, like, been out of healthcare?
I was a nurse for almost 2 years, and I was in healthcare for a total of when I was 18, and I'm 27, about to be 28
Mhm.
now, so yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But, and I kind of found different things that I liked, different things I didn't like about it.
Mhm.
It's still great, but it's just not for me anymore. People
Yeah.
change, people grow.
Yes.
Growth is good.
Yeah, and it's
So,
never a bad thing.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, talking about growth,
Mhm.
what do you think you need to learn or unlearn to be able to grow? What's your opinion on that?
I would say learning to say no. for one is I think especially people in healthcare have a hard time with that because
Yeah,
they,
it's
you know,
hard.
yeah, you're so used to just like people pleasing and catering to everybody else's
Yes.
needs. So learning to say no, and also like I used to love being the yes friend. Like I took pride in that. Like
Mhm.
anything you want me to do, I'm down. Now I'm like, no. So I think just learning to say no and knowing that you don't have to explain that to anybody. Like you don't have to have a reason. You can just say no because you don't feel like it. I think that's probably the biggest boundary I had to learn.
I love it because you're preaching to the choir. I have a hard time saying no. It's so hard because, sometimes you wanna be able to, like you said, be a people pleaser
Hmm.
and just be able to do all the things, be all of the people you need to be, whether it's wife, mom, sister, friend, all the titles that come into it. Uh, but it's hard sometimes to say no, and you wanna say yes to all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to learn to say no a lot more than I do.
we all do. Nobody says it
Yes.
enough.
Oh, I know, especially in today's world. Everything's so busy and we don't take enough time for
Yeah.
ourselves. So, kinda circling back around to the outdoors and talking about, filling your cup. What fills your cup?
I mean, definitely the outdoors. I mean, it allows me to it kind of puts life into perspective a little bit. It forces you to let go of control, which I have a hard time with. I'm a little bit of a control freak. So, and you step outside and you completely hand over the reins. You're not in control of everything. It forces you to slow down. You know, when you're sitting in a tree stand, like you have no choice but to just sit and be patient and roll with the punches kind of. But then knowing too that it can just switch up on a dime. Well, the weather might change all of a sudden. You might
Yeah,
have split seconds to decide if you're going to take a shot at something. You just have to let go to learn. You learn to let go of control and persevere.
I love it. I always say, "Let go and let God." Just
I love that. Yes.
yeah, that's my motto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot.
outdoors that it fills my cup also. It's
Yeah.
something I don't think I could live without. I have to have it. It's my biggest addiction, but it's also my biggest peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was there a chapter or story in your book that was difficult for you to write?
Yes. I mean, honestly, a majority of them were pretty difficult to write. I've never been a very vulnerable person. Something I've definitely worked on over the past
Okay.
few years, opening up a little bit. But so knowing that other people were going to read everything that I have been through and like my emotions, I don't want to talk about my emotions with people. And now the entire world can read them.
Yeah.
So I would say it was all pretty difficult to write. But something that I've learned as people have read it and reached out to me is all of the things that I was scared to write about is everything that people needed to read because all of the hardest moments are in there. People have reached out and told me like that's what resonated most with them and they needed to hear that. And I had one girl reached out to me and told me like I needed to read this because that tells me I'm not always going to be living in survival mode. Like there is an end to this. And I was like, "Good, okay. I went through all that for a reason. Got it."
You did. There was the hard moments that you talk about in your book. I mean,
Mhm.
I really resonated with a lot of those hard moments. And like you said, you had to be so vulnerable to tell those hard stories and tell those
Yeah.
hard things, that happened in your life. And, I can't imagine too, a lot of those things probably had to be triggers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my so the publisher that I worked with, she mainly publishes like women's memoirs and things like that. So there usually is a lot of trauma and like pain and things like that. And she gave me a heads up. She's like, "You are going to have to sit in the uncomfortable during this process. And there's going to be a lot of self-reflection and a lot of like you want to hold back because you don't want to have to like relive things or have to process it. But with that, I mean, she told me, she was like, when you're done writing it, you're going to feel a lot of healing because it's like just a weight off your shoulders. Like, okay, it's finally all out there. I mean, she wasn't wrong. She was not wrong.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine having to relive, a lot of that,
Yeah.
but all of the healing though that
Hmm.
did come from that, that's
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I thank you for telling your story. it
Well,
was
thank you for
definitely
reading it.
yes, yes. It was so good, and I mean, do you have plans one day to write another book, or is that,
Yeah,
something that's being talked
yeah.
about?
Um, yes, definitely. I definitely need a break. So I wrote that book
Yeah.
within 3 months, and
What?
then yes. So I wrote it within 3 months and then edited for 3 months, which was a lot
Wow.
of the editing process probably isn't what a lot of people think it looks like. Like, I send the manuscript to the editor and she suggests changes, and then I basically just, like, approve or deny them kinda thing. So it's not like I'm sitting there reading through, every single word, every single chapter. Some people do. Me, I was like, "Nope, I wrote it once."
No, I'm not.
But yeah, so wrote it within 3 months, edited for 3 months, and yeah, that was a lot.
That's a
A
lot.
lot
That
of
was a
yes,
fast turnaround.
a
I did
lot of
not know that.
all-nighters. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot longer than that. Like, you had been working on this for, like, a year or 2. I didn't know that it was just 3 months. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome, though.
I'm like, definitely a book again in the future. I'm not sure if it'll be a full in-depth memoir, because some people have, like, told me, like, "Oh, I really wanna hear some of these actual stories, like, the behind the scenes, what really happened. Tell me about, like, your wild teenage years," and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Okay, maybe." Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
A little
I
break
mean,
for now, but
yeah,
we'll see.
for sure, for sure. Well, that's great. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that for you. So, this book, like I mentioned in the beginning, I think it's for women, for men, for everybody in general. I know a lot of women, though, can relate to it. So, for the women that, may feel lost or don't know what to do next or where to turn to, what is your biggest advice you think that you could give them?
Gosh, I'm gonna kinda go off the tangent earlier. You were talking about how, like, we all play the comparison game, and so sometimes we feel like we're just behind in life. Years ago, I had a friend tell me when I felt like I was behind in life, and he told me, "Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and we all finish at different times." And I used to kinda live by that. I was like, "Okay, that's good advice." And now I disagree. I think that we're all running different races at different paces. We're taking different paths. We're chasing, completely different finish lines. And so you're never behind. Like, you're in your own race. You can't compare to somebody next to you. So I think that would just be my biggest advice, is that you're not behind in life. It's just your life. You have nobody to compare it to.
Oh, I love that. That's such great advice. Yeah, because I mean, everybody's their own person. Everybody
Hmm.
lives different lives. We were not built to be the same.
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
all created to be able to. We all have gifts. We all do different things in life. We're all made for a reason.
Yeah. It
So
would be a very boring life if we were all the same.
yes, it would. It would be so boring in that cookie cutter lifestyle that we
Hmm.
were talking about. It'd be so boring. So, kind of jumping to Lady Out Loud.
Hmm.
What does living out loud mean to you?
Oh gosh. I would say not being afraid to take up space. Just stop shrinking yourself to fit into whatever category people are trying to box you into. Just live your life unapologetically, as loud as you want, take up as much space as you want. Who cares? It's your life.
I love it. Love it. Like you said, don't be, apologetic for anything that you do.
Yeah,
Just
don't walk
live
yourself
it and
down.
live it
Yeah.
loud. Yeah. However you want to. Love
Yeah.
it. No, just yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Mm.
So, Alexis, what is next for you? More adventure, more, new thing. What's going on? Tell me what your plans are, what your goals are.
Well, definitely a lot more adventure for right now. I'm just kind of enjoying life now that the book is over with and all that good stuff. But I'm also in school right now to be a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So,
Awesome.
yes. So, once that's done, I have some big plans, which I'm not going to share all of them, but some big plans to kind of integrate mental health into my passion for the outdoors. So, yeah. So, I kind of have a vision of an outdoor retreat where people come, and instead of sitting in an office and sitting on my couch and having a therapy session, let's go outside, have a walk through the woods, or sit on a bench and have, you can have equine therapy. There's just so many different things. And Yeah.
I love that. That
Yeah.
is great. I think you will do very well with that. I think it is needed in today's society. Because, like you said, sometimes too, I feel like it is so hard. And I mean, I've been in therapy before.
Mhm.
I think we all need therapy. It's great for
Absolutely.
everybody, every one of us. But I think sometimes too, it's hard when you don't know that person and you go into this, it's like a sterile office setting.
Mhm.
And you're just sitting there having to be so vulnerable and just,
Yeah,
give
with
up
a
all these.
stranger.
Yes,
Yeah.
with a stranger in this uncomfortable setting.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think having that opportunity to be out in the outdoors and just let it all go.
Yeah, I had guided a hunt in Texas for foster children, and yeah, it's great. I think it's Operation Orphans, I
Yes.
believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they've been around since I think the
A
60s, and
long time. Yeah.
yeah, and they have great success. They
Mhm.
do this multiple times a year. I think they just started doing it with girls. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's like newer to the girls, I
I
think.
want to.
Yeah, so I guided that hunt for these girls and just sitting in a tree stand, I expected the weekend to change their lives a little bit, but wasn't expecting them to change mine so much. But really just sitting in the tree stand with them and then talking about what a weekend away and like just spending time outside in the peace, the quiet, watching nature, and even seeing them just like go through their first hunt because most of them had never even shot a gun before.
I
And seeing them,
bet.
yeah, and
Yeah.
seeing them take their first harvest, all of that, and just hearing their stories about back home and their life at home and how much healing they had throughout the weekend, that's like when it all clicked for me of, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, I want to make this happen for everyone. So, yeah. So that's kind of the end goal, just to use those outdoors to change everyone's life and boost their mental health.
I think that's a great goal to have. That is so
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to see what it turns into. I think it's going to do really well for you. And I love that it's going to help others in a huge way.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of where you want this setting to be? Like,
So I really think if my family watches this, sorry, I hate to break it to you, but I think I'm gonna end up moving back to Texas, and I really picture
really?
this. I picture it there. I'm hoping some changes happen with like nurse practitioner scope of practice. 'Cause Texas is one of the most restricted states.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a lot of hoops to jump through to start it there, but hopefully
That's
by the
okay
time,
though.
right? Yeah, hopefully by the time we get there,
Yeah.
it'll be all changed.
It'll all fall into place how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
That is so exciting for you though.
Yes, definitely ready to be back. But like I
Yes.
said, sorry to my family if
Sorry.
that's the first time you heard
Sorry.
about it.
Sorry, dad. Gosh, that's so funny. So, where can listeners find your book 30 Proof and follow along with your journey also?
So you can find the book on Amazon. It comes in ebook, paperback, or hardcover. I do have a website, but it's down right now. I'm kind of revamping the entire thing. So I would say you can follow me on Instagram, which is at the Alexis Shattuck. And then once the website's up and running, I'll be sure to share that.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Alexis, for joining me today. This has
Yeah.
been absolutely wonderful. You are so inspiring. I know you have inspired so many others. And for our listeners, if you felt inspired, please, please, please check out her book. It's one of the greatest things I think I have ever read. I love it. It's so relatable. And then please follow us on YouTube and Spotify to listen to more of our podcast and stories and all the great women that we have on the episodes. So thank you guys so much. And thank you, Alexis.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning into this episode. And if you enjoyed today, please follow along and share it with somebody that you know. Until next time, keep living boldly and keep living out loud.